Um, I finally got my hands on a copy of the Mont'ka rules. So is that the right way to say it? Mont'ka? I don't know. Um, Now I noticed that there's Space Marine rules for whatever. But this is something I didn't understand was like, why do they have all these oh, these guys like, I remember having these guys. They were kind of cute. Oh, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we're gonna look through the Tau Empire stuff. And this is the way that I'm doing it is because one, I like making fun of the internet and pretending like I don't know things, and it helps because I'm trying to teach people that the games that people are designing and selling to us are so bad that it doesn't matter how smart you are or how experienced you are. Every time they redo it, they blow up the previous iteration of the game, um, and make it so it's completely new. Yet at its core, it's the same old shit, which is here's your 150 dice, fucking roll them. Don't worry, the first die roll, the first d6 you roll to see who's going to go first, is going to determine the actual winner. Um, this is true in virtually all of the miniature games that you play. There's a few where it feels like it's not. Like a lot of people say that like War Machine doesn't have that because it doesn't have the range. So there's some maneuvering, except that's really not true. Um, there's moving forward because you can't do anything is not the same as maneuvering to get better shots at the enemy. Okay, those are so you're moving your army towards the actual battlefield, and you deployed too fucking far away from it. Makes you a bad military commander. Like, oops, everybody out. The enemy's here. Sir, they're over the next mountain. March. Fuck you. Like learn how to military. So so I wanted to see this because this is what I've been told that this is what Tau do now. Um, is this silliness? This big looking doofus. And I said, okay, if that's what they do, then all right. Um, so let's see the actual rules here. Gee. Now it doesn't look terrible that way, but when you look at it in person, it's kind of like, yeah, hmm. What's this? What is this thing? Nobody uses those. What's this? Oh, these are the models that you're going to be replacing. Oh, I see. So let's see. A Counter Strike cadre gets you. Oh, all right. Just don't be within 3 inches of an objective marker, and the squad doesn't do anything to you. Nice. In the first turn or the turn when they arrive from reserve, all vehicles in this formation are fast vehicles. Okay, that's cool. If only you could dismount when you go really fast. Oh yeah, you can't. Oh well, you know. All right. um, Rapid insertion force gives you crisis battle suits, stealth battle suits, and riptide battle suits. Okay. Lock coordinates. The stealth battle suits and the rapid insertion force must begin the game deployed on the battlefield. The rest of the force in the formation must be held in reserve and arrive by deep strike. Any crisis battle suits or riptides in the formation that chooses deep strike within 6 inches of this unit of stealth battle suits do not scatter, and count all the weapons as twin linked in the ensuing shooting phase. Okay. So this is part of the dictating how people play, how events are run. It's all about the um, is that the way that you actually want the game to go? So if you have a scenario that you wrote that says no one can be deployed on the battlefield, this breaks that. If the other guy has a anti-infiltration army and goes first, and through whatever magic of the use of the Force, is able to stop you from deploying them. Um, or worse, at least they're not tied together. So like you don't have to go, oh, I have to summon them to these guys. It's just valuable to do so. Because you know that they were tempted. Hey, I have to deep strike next to this. Like, oh no, don't do it. Don't send my manga forces next to them. So at least they would, not deep strike. Um, I noticed the way that it's written. Um, this could have been fact. I don't know if anything's been fact because really I can't be bothered to read through the 18-page fact of our rules suck by Games Workshop. Sorry, I can't be bothered to read your bad game designers trying to unfuck things. Actually designing a game properly, you probably have less fact questions you got to answer. So on this one, and I don't care if people actually use it. I'm looking at each one individually. Uh, it's obvious that big equal better. Like, okay, guys, congratulations, you figured out how to build an army. You bring the biggest thing. Way to go. Tell me something I don't know. So, uh, only the ones that actually deep strike within 6 inches of this unit would actually get the benefit, right? But those aren't actually units, okay? So any of the battle suits that you would place that would be end up outside of it would actually scatter. See what I'm saying? The rules are written poorly. Those are not talking about units. Those are talking about individual models. So a Riptide battlesuit is a 1 to 3 model. Curse battlesuits, 1 to 3 models in each unit. It's not talking about a unit. It's talking about the models. Don't write bad rules, and I won't critique you. Okay, I'm sure everybody has noticed this, or really, I'm guessing that they haven't. Like, oh no, you just assume it. Your brain fills it in, like those word games that you can play where you replace all the e's with threes. You can still read it. Your brain just says that's an e because that's what that word is, and you can go through and you can pronounce a whole paragraph of gibberish because your brain knows what those words are supposed to be. Anyway, let's go on to the next bit of stupid. So 3 Pathfinder teams and 3 units of XV-88 broadsides. Now, I haven't actually seen people playing Pathfinders, and I've seen only one one unit of Devilfish in, say, the last 4 years, where there was an actual Devilfish on the table. Because they're bad. Their cost hasn't come down. They're 35-point vehicles. Um, they're they're not they're not good. And they don't have anything but anti-infantry guns on them. So, 40,000 years in the future, apparently, stuff that nobody ever did is a thing. So nobody in our modern military history has had troop transports that can only fire an infantry. Now there was a while where like early World War II, where you didn't really have transports that had anti-tank guns. They were anti-tank units, and they actually had the guns mounted instead of troops. But it was the same body, and if it's a tank and it can transport people, then it's probably like a Merkava from the Israeli Defense Force that can actually transport troops in the back, has the engine in front. At least that's what I think it is. I think it's the Merkava. Anyway, so 40K made by Games Workshop, it uses pretend military options that don't make sense. Sorry, seeker missiles are not anti-tank weapons because you can't fire them by yourselves. Fly-by-wire is a thing. It exists. Works good. All right, so let's look at this. This is the range support cadre. So I don't even know why they say there's no restrictions. It's just like, sure there is. There are only special rules over here. So let's see. Double the value of any marker-like counters placed by any of the formation's pathfinders if the counter is used by any of the formation's broadside units. Okay. All Pathfinder teams in this formation have the Infiltrate and Shrouded special rules. The Shrouded special rules lost immediately by any unit that moves from its starting location for any reason, and by any unit that makes an attack with anything other than its marker lights. Okay, well, with the 36-inch range, you should be able to marker light shit. And yeah. The broadside units in this formation can provide supporting fire for the Pathfinder teams in this formation at any range, as long as it does not exceed their weapon's maximum range. I guess that means you would probably not want to try to remove their shrouded by using a rhino. Oh, I guess that's one way to do it, or just assault them. Broadsides have good firepower, but they're not like, oh my god. It's kind of like, whatever. So okay, it doesn't really. That's what I feel about that. Um, all right, Piranha Firestream Wing. Now I've actually looked at these rules before for this one, but I actually wanted to look at the actual rules. Okay, 4 units of TX4 Piranhas. 1 unit must only include a single Piranha. This is the target acquisition teams. You're right. At the start of your shooting phase, you can pick an enemy unit as within 36 inches of the target acquisition team and in their line of sight. All pawns from this formation, including the target acquisition team, add 1 to their ballistic skill if they shoot at that unit in the shooting phase, and also have the tank hunter special rule if the target unit is a vehicle. Well, they have to be at point blank range to be mounting fusion blasters. So I don't really think that matters too much. It's not like people are running light vehicles. Oh, all right. If all the surviving models from a unit in this formation are within 6 inches of a table edge at the end of their movement phase, the unit can enter ongoing reserves. When it returns to play, it does so at full strength with any damage repaired and drones and secret missiles replaced. So, yeah. So it's not the formation; it's the unit. So you'd wanna max that out. So let's take a look here. Let's pull up Army Builder and pull up a formation of that. Where is it? Nope. Firewing. Nope. What the hell is it supposed to be? Oh. Nope. Seriously. Is it not in here? It's not that. There we go. Yeah, and the name is different, I guess. No, but is it just the exact name? Okay, that's what they're doing. All right, so I have to have 1. So I can have up to 5. That's 200 points. Okay. So so it's still just 18 inches. This is still 12 as far as I know. Let's see. Pulse carbines are 18. No, wait a minute. So is this another phenomenon of free models? Now, granted, it's only 10 drones, but why would you ever bring drones if you have this formation? Like gun drones. Like, why would you bring them as a unit? Because you can drop those 10 drones off of this unit, just leave it behind, let it do its thing, and then leave, and the formation says, drones and secret missiles replaced. Okay. Now, granted, it's not like, woo, look, I got something awesome. But it exists. It's a thing, and even with tank hunters, with Bliss Skill 1, right? Being Bliss Skill added of 1 point, so it's Bliss Skill 4. And then I guess you could roll up on the back of somebody and damage them with the burst cannons, or just shred infantry. Um, so yeah, it feels like there's a free unit that you can just drive that on and drop off the gun drones and then basically retreat. So you have basically 24 inches. So unless your infantry is in the middle of the table or something, you have a 24-inch death zone. And probably for the gun drones, you have your disembark distance. So basically it adds an extra 6 inches from where you're disembarking on your unit, which is on these it's the front and should be anywhere because it's a squadron. Um, anyway, so it if you look at the let's see, go to fast attack and just say drones, and I want a gun drone. That's a 140 point unit that you can do. Sure, you don't have that special rule, but no, you do have it. It says you do it. So it's only close combat attacks against orcs, which you probably shouldn't be doing with gun drones because they're terrible. But still, pulse carbines are nice. Um, so, hmm, would the gun drones be considered part of the surviving models from the unit? Oh, they're treated as passengers. Probably. No, you have to be really gamey to argue otherwise. Oh, hmm. But still, that would also mean that you should be able to get. It only says piranhas, so if they disembark, they don't get it. So there's not really any reason to disembark. Hmm. Well, hmm. But it is an option because these are open topped, to get off assault with that. Now it's not like it's awesome. It's obviously not, but get off, shoot, assault. Maybe you get an extra wound on a Marine squad before you get run down, because they're not gonna they're not very fast. They'll probably either flee off the table or be dead. But even if they're fleeing, let's say there's a unit within 12 inches of your board edge, you go and you assault them. You don't get destroyed. You somehow escape, or you kill them. Worst scenario is you kill the enemy, I guess. But if you're falling back, if you're within 6 inches of the table edge, you can pull that too. So the piranhas and the disembark guys would just run away. But you can split fire anyway. I don't know. It just seems like you get a little bit of extra shenanigans out of that, out of doing that. Um, so yeah, so let's go back to the formation and delete that. Oh, I just find it interesting that uh, somebody hasn't really paid attention. Now I would expect that this right here wouldn't last long, and so you would want to come on and um, do your attacks and then pull the TAT team along with whatever main forces you have. Pull all those off so you can come on and do it again. Yeah. Anyway, so it does seem like it's some bullshit. So because if you don't kill a portion of that completely, which you may not be able to do, they may just show up, do their damage. You don't get to do anything to them because they're pulled, right? Um, no, no. If it's at the end of the movement phase, it's not like you're going to shoot. So you'd have to have a big squad. So the target acquisition team would probably be dead, which is fine. Be like, okay, you're shooting in. And then the next turn, you would pull them off. I don't know. It seems It seems good, though I'm not sure I really want to buy 16 fucking piranhas. Anyway, let's see what this does. No. So 3 units of Ghost Keel battlesuits. Okay. So if you shoot at it once, um, any friendly unit with the Tau Empire faction that's within 12 inches of 2 or more units from this formation has a stealth special rule. If the unit already has stealth, it receives shrouded. If it already has stealth and shrouded, it receives no additional benefit. All right. Enemy units cannot make Overwatch attacks against a unit from this formation within 6 inches of another unit of this formation when the Overwatch attack would be made. So you drive up with one unit and then you run up and assault with the other? Okay, I guess. No, seems unlikely. But let's see. Well, look. Let's go check out what Army Builder says. Let me see what the name is. Just Ghost Kill Wing. So hopefully that's all it is. So under G. All right. So stealth drones that don't have weapons. Do they not have weapons? Don't seem like they have weapons. Oh. Oh, these are jetpack monstrous creatures. So I get it. You won't like what I bring. I've got friends. Like, yep. I know a guy. Okay. In the enemy shooting phase, you can say no. You can't shoot me. You can only do snapshots. That kind of sucks. Alrighty. So what do they get? Twin linked flamers, fusion collider, strength 8 AP1, fusion blast, melt the assault 1. Okay. Well, it's a good thing it's assault 1, because if it wasn't on that monstrous creature, that could be an issue. Alright, so you can replace the fusion collider with a cyclic ion raker. So the skill is 3, as expected. See, the shooting army doesn't actually get to shoot you very well until they buff themselves, and then they can shoot. So everybody just stays at home, sewing, knitting, darning socks, and then they pick up their weapons and bring their drones along to light stuff up, and then all of a sudden they're special warfare. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so Cyclic Ion Raker is 24 inches, strength 7, AP4, assault 6. Or Overcharge, 24-inch range, strength 8, AP4, heavy 1, large blast gets hot. Okay. And I honestly don't know what the stealth drones do. They have the stealth field thing, I guess. Okay. There's 2 of them. It just looks like they're extra bodies. So, okay. So let's see. Monster creatures are vulnerable to strength D on a 6. Just, you're dead. At least that's my understanding. Gargantuan creatures get wounded. Monstrous creatures just get removed. So, okay. So you could have a twin link burst cannon, which is assault 4, and then that is that. So you have 10 shots. So half of them are twin linked, about half. So 40% are twin linked. So that's quite a lot of shots that you'll put out. It's 398, but there's no rending. It's just strength 7 to defeat enemy armor. So it feels like it's an anti-infantry unit. and it comes with its own version of invisibility for when it's assaulting. Oh, now, it would effectively have stealth and shrouding on itself. So as long as they're sticking together, I guess. Okay, and it's a good buff unit to go um, protect your crisis suits. That's what I guess you would use it. So, um, okay, so that's 400 points for that. So that's not terrible. Um, let's go back to the next formation. So the Sky Sweep missile defense. Um, yeah. As long as the shitty tank is still alive, the other shitty tanks get to do things. One of these days, um, they will make those tomahawks or something. Something useful instead of what they are. Vehicle mounted ones do this, and then give the ground teams, a secret missile team, that doesn't have like a large blast or something. But yeah, still, it's been years. I'm still waiting for these to be useful. Oh, I guess I'll continue waiting. Um, let's see, an ethereal council. On Vaughn, on She, maybe taking the place of ethereals in the council. Okay. They're fearless. All right. So let's see. The members of the Ethereal Council form a single unit and are treated as characters rather than independent characters, as long as at least 2 members of the council remain alive. The range of the failure is not an option. Special rules increase from 12 inches to 24 inches for all the models in the Ethereal Council that have the rule. As long as the Ethereal Council has at least 2 members, invokes all 4 elemental powers each turn instead of only 1 power per member. The Ethereal Council and all friendly non-vehicle units that have the Tower Empire faction within 12 inches of it benefit from the effects of all 4 elemental powers until the start of the Council's movement phase. So you buy 3 and you stick them in a devilfish. I guess. I I don't know. Um, it could be these are line of sight things. I haven't really checked because I don't really care. Oh, it's just like um, and I think that this would work inside a vehicle. I don't know. Not that people take them, but I would take one for that to go here. Here's this stupid thing. So let's see. I'm sure that you could do a whole bunch of shenanigans. Um, I do want to price out that and the previous thing. So, Sky Sweep Missile Defense, 125 points. Is that what that says? 125, right? For that piece of shit. 425. Almost as if somebody's not playing the game. Good job. All right. um, Ethereal Council. All right. I can have that stuff. Ooh, I can have a 4 up, 5 up. Oh boy. Recon armor is a 5 up. That's exciting. Okay. And it's 150 points for a buff. Okay. Let's see, Nick. So they don't come with their own transport option. You just have a bunch of them and a bunch of drones and delete. Okay. So that's terrible, son. Yeah. There we go. All right, back to this. So whatever. Um, I'm assuming you're supposed to put them on. Hmm, I would say the gun line, that you can move forward and backwards and stuff. With regular Tau and hope they live, I guess. All right, so the drone net. Um, so let's see. Collective targeting data. In the shooting phase, add one to the best skill of all drones, including drones that are not part of the formation. What? Uh, including drones that are not part of the formation. So one of these freebie boosters. Okay, as long as at least 2 units from this formation are on the battlefield. So, so drones become BS3. They're twin linked. That's fairly nasty. Um, hmm. Oh, good. All drones in this formation have the interceptor, jink, outflank, precision shots, and split fire special rules. They were just like, "Hey, what do jetpack guys get? Just give them all that, and just give them everything." Like, okay, so they have saves, and they can come in from the side, and they can pick off your sergeants and your melt the gun guys, and they slow the game down tremendously, I'm sure, when they do that. Oh, and they can also split fire. Hey, cool. um, okay, so let's go look at that unit because I want to see what it's like. Um, drone net. Hmm. Ooh, excuse me. All right. I don't understand why these are 14 points. Because they're fucking drones. They come for free. Like here's the question to ask yourself: if they are actually worth 14 points, um, so they're worth 14 points, right? Okay, that's all I'm saying. They're worth 14 points. So you're telling me that a piranha would thus be worth 12 points, right? Because two gun drones, 14 times 2 is 28. 28 from 40 leaves 12, right? Am I up too early? Am I up in the night? I mean, it's just, come on, be serious. There's these are not worth 28 points, but they're saying that two of them are worth 28 points. I just, yeah. So again, you would take the minimum, I guess, of 4, and then the maximum. If you really wanted to max out your drone fire, I guess. And since they have the split fire rule, you can always do the marker drones, right? That would be my guess. That's what you're supposed to do. Let's go here. That's the marker light. It's the marker drone. Have a nice day. Okay. I see. I'm not sure I want to see, but I see. Um, all right. So let's look at this again. Riptide wing. Um, all right. So 3 units of XV-104 Riptide battle suits. Coordinated attacks in the shooting phase. I wanted the skill of Riptide from this formation, which is a unit's already been shot at this phase by any other Riptide from this formation. I'd like to point out that rules like this would make sense in thinking of the ghost kill unit. Okay, the ghost kill can only kill infantry. Riptides blow up everything. Did you think about that when you put this in? I'm going to say no. Um, Each riptide from this formation that is within 6 inches of another riptide from the formation can reroll failed Nova reactor attempts. Now, why didn't they say from this formation twice? So, I'm within 6 inches. I'm from this formation. I'm within 6 inches of another riptide from the formation. It leaves open a gray area. Okay, and I know you'll go, oh, you're just power gaming it. It's like, well, of course, that's what everybody should do. If there's a flaw in the rules, you should exploit it, to be honest. Because that's the way that you get rules flaws corrected and you get better game designers, is you point out the fucking flaws in their goddamn games. This is not like the state of PC and console gaming where they release shit and then have to do a massive day one patch because they published it 6 weeks before and it got sent to all the stores, and then before you can play it, you have a 5 gig download of fixes, okay, to make the goddamn game work. This is a living, breathing game. When they fuck up, they need to fix the shit right away. But they actually can. All you have to do is say, oh, yeah, this is what we meant. That's not what they do, okay? And that has to stop. That has to be changed. You have to go, no, you can't do that anymore. You have to actually put out a goddamn game that works, play test it, put it out, give it to us. We'll tell you what's wrong with it again, because there's always the primary playtest, and then there's the public playtest, and then there's the actually out in the field. And there are people who find bugs and hope nobody else notices them. Nobody puts them on Reddit. Um, and then they're able to go to a tournament and win. Okay. It's always been a thing because people that want to win at all costs will do that. Um, I don't know if you've heard of my blog, but the whole point was to get someone who could actually not cheat and kick my ass. Remember? That's the goal. My personal goal is, God, could you be better than me at this game, please? And it starts at armamentless construction and understanding the rules. So here we are again, trying to understand the rules. These rules are bad because this rule is the same as the other one, except these are actually bad. These are badasses. These will blow shit up. The ghost kills, yeah, they're cute and everything, but they only kill infantry and light vehicles, and who runs either one? Oh, yeah, you don't. Because there's not a limit on this shit. You can spend up to 500 points of your army, 2,000 points, on big things like this. Oh, look, game balanced. Much more balanced. Sure, everybody would have a couple of units of these, and then they'd have everything else, and everybody would blow this shit up. And that would be cool. But that's not the way that it works now. So now it's you barely spend 500 points on everything else that you would run in your army, and then you spend everything on these. All right. So okay, let's read the cheese. Riptide Hailfire. Because Riptides didn't sell well enough, once per battle, this formation can make a Riptide Hailfire attack. What's this? Is this a new skill that we have? If it does so, any units from this formation that did not move in their movement phase can shoot twice in their shooting phase, making each attack at a different target if desired. Now I understand what, my friend who's commenting was talking about here. Making each attack at a different target if desired. Carry out the shooting attack separately, one after the other. The unit cannot move in the assault phase of the same turn. If a model uses Ripple Fire in the turn at which it makes a Riptide Hailfire attack, it can fire the relevant weapon 4 times rather than twice. Uh-huh. Buy now. Hurry. Limited time offer. Okay. So let's go look at that. All right. Oh, Riptide Wing. All right. So now it sorry, looking at the wrong thing. I don't need that up. I need this up. Yeah, can reroll failed Nova reactor attempts. So you can on your heavy burst cannon, Nova charge it up. And then as you shoot, so basically your first shot is like, it's not so good. Um, Here's the thing: making each attack at a different target if desired. These guys can have drones, right? Let me see. That just improves their stuff. And I don't think these guys. What do these guys do for us? They have the missile pods, right? Yeah, they have missile pods. So, and you can do a target lock. Okay. So, you have Unit 1, Unit 2 that you're going to shoot at. So, Unit A fires at a different target than Unit B. And you really want to fire Unit B at at enemy Unit 2, right? And these are all Riptide units I'm talking about. The enemy units doesn't matter what they are. So you suck up the loss of shots on, of the bliss skill increase on the first unit of Riptides that you fire. Okay. So basically, the guy of all your Riptides, let's say you've got all the Riptides in the world. Okay. The guy who, even with the reroll, doesn't get the heavy burst cannon Nova charge shot. Okay. So he's only got heavy 8 instead of heavy 12. Um, that's fine. It's cool. It's all right. That guy shoots at your first target. So whichever one of them, of the 6 to 8 of them or 9, whatever that you've got, um, he opens fire, and they all have a shielded missile drone, right? And the reason you have the shielded missile drone, even though it really probably doesn't matter, is so that you can shoot another unit. Okay. So for his first set of 8 dice, he doesn't get the bonus. Okay. Right? Because it's add 1 to the bliss skill of a Riptide from this formation. If it shoots at a unit that has already been shot at this phase by any other Riptide from this formation. So he shoots at the first target and then the second target. And you don't even need the missile drones to split fire. You don't even need to do that because he can shoot twice. So he just goes, I shoot these 2, and then you just roll through, and occasionally you won't be maximum ballistic skill, but yeah, it's just silly. Oh, okay. So 5 wounds. Yeah, I don't get it. So whatever. It feels obvious. Like, oh yeah, take this one. This one will be good. All right. So let's look at the air superiority cadre. Razor Shark Strike Fighters. Okay. First of all, I'd like to say that the Flying Devilfish doesn't really look good. Um, the burst cannon that looks fine on ground mounts looks kind of stupid on a flyer. Anyway. Okay. And you just get marker lights for free. Okay. Um, if there are any flyers of any kind, jet bikes or skimmers, they just show up. And they're really good at picking off jet bikes and skimmers, I guess. Okay. Um, I'll I'll look at it in a minute. So, okay. Is this the Magnificent Seven plus Mr. Special? Farsight, I guess. Let's see. Models from this formation can provide supporting fire to a unit containing any models from this formation if they are within 24 inches of each other rather than 6 inches. Really? Unbreakable bonds of bullshit. Okay. Oh, hey, my missile launchers, my missile pods from the entire battlefield are going to shoot at you. Come get me. Wow. All right. Oh, he's still. Oh, okay. You're alive and on the battlefield. Everyone has a stubborn special rule. Okay. Um, and look, there's fluff. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's go look at that and see what they do. So let's get rid of the Riptide Wing. Sorry, what was the other stupid thing? Air Superiority Cadre. Let's look at that first, because I'm sure that'll be awesome. Oh wait, no. All right. Again, 135 points? No, it's 435. All right, what's the quad iron turret do? Okay. This is the stupid looking thing hanging down, right? Oh. Then secret missiles and burst cannon, which you can replace with a missile pod, which you should. So they're really 150 each. Okay. Hey, cool. Whatever. And a fire ace. Whatever. Okay. So, yeah, it is what it is. And flyers. Yay. Okay. Oh, they're worth 100 points, fellas. Oh, not for the whole formation. Oh. Oh, okay. So, all right, cool. I'm not sure what to say other than delete. I don't care. Oh, that's just a whatever. Hey, there's this thing which could be really cool. But your whole army. Okay. I'm sure somebody wants to roleplay that, but I don't really want to. That guy looks cool. He's like, look, I'm a character. Look, it's broadside, it's crisis. It's just like, all right, whatever. All right, so let's see. So you have a riptide and a broadside, and okay. And then everything else is every commander they've ever made. Ta-da! This is what you get. All right. Yeah. All right, so let's look at these rules. Armies drawn from the Farside enclaves are slightly different to those found elsewhere in the Tau Empire. If you wish, you could say that any Tau detachment or formation in your army is from the Farside enclaves. I want to say that. Okay. In a Farsight Enclave's detachment or formation, XV8 crisis battlesuits are troops choices instead of elite choices. They have the preferred enemy orcs rule when making close combat attacks. Because when you're shooting army, you need to be able to hit people with your gun better. Oh. Everybody's got to take bonding knives. Okay. Any character in Farsight Enclave's detachment or formation may select signature system, uses the signature systems of the Farsight Enclave's opposite at the points cost shown instead of signature systems from Codex Tau Empire. Majority is Warlord cheats. You can choose. The rules are on the table to the right. So, okay. Weapon skill 5. Whatever. Has one of the following special rules. So again, this is just, the things I don't understand is why you can't just pay for what you want. Each one's 10 points. You can pay for it or not. And that way you can actually outfit your commander with a fucking close combat weapon instead of, well, I equipped it with him. And in none of my games of the tournament did I actually get that result. Hey, good game, buddy. Again, this is what I need. This is what I'm buying. Like, okay. Okay. Minus one of your reserve rolls on turn 4. Turn 3. Probably turn 3. Whatever. Okay. Alright. Everybody comes he's fearless, and all units near him are stubborn. Crisis battle suits come in better. Okay. And gain a special roll for 1 turn. Okay. Modeling your army has the mirror codex. You can add 1 to your dice roll when seizing the initiative. In other words, I lost the go first roll. I want another shot on a 5+, please. Okay. It couldn't just say preferred enemy, enemy army, right? They're like, the army that everybody else plays. Like, okay. Roll a d6 on the roll of a 1, on a 2+, all open ground within 36 inches. This tree is difficult terrain. All difficult terrain within 36 inches is dangerous terrain. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Any enemy unit that is both outside of its deployment zone within 12 inches of a warscaper drone treats difficult terrain as dangerous terrain. Okay. And you can run willy-nilly. Like, oh, this one's a warscaper. Like, okay. All right. Okay. Um. I created a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber, guys. Oh, good God. All right. I can't handle the roleplay. It's just whatever. Cast pilot array. Models with battle suits only. The model rerolls all rolls of 1 to hit in the shooting phase. We reroll the dice when using a Renova reactor. However, the weapon skill is 1. Oh, goddamn. My weapon skill is 1. I'm never going to be in close combat. And the main attack that I use doesn't need my weapon skill to be anything. It just hits. No, no. God, it's so just whatever. All right. Really? Deny the witch rolls. Okay. Yes, because, the Tau don't exist in the warp. Yay. Okay. All right, here we go. This detachment must include at least 1 court choice. For each court choice, you must include between 1 and 10 auxiliary choices in any combination and up to 1 command choice. Okay. If this detachment is chosen as your primary detachment, you can choose to reroll the results on the Warlord traits table. Okay. Killing blow. At the start of each enemy turn, secretly record the identity of 1 enemy unit. At the start of your turn, reveal which unit it was that you picked. You can reroll failed 2 wound and armor penetration rolls against that unit for the rest of your turn. Gay. Okay. Cool, I guess. Hey, look, I could pick the 8 as my thing. Like, yeah. That's pretty stupid. Look, I have this and I have one of those, and then I've got 10 flights of aircraft coming in to support us. Oh, the role-playing opportunities are so awesome. Red 5. The Red Nine, help me. I mean, just okay. So retaliation cadre, hunter cadre. I just want to make sure I read everything else. Wait a minute. Oh, and those are the auxiliary choices. Okay. So sure. There's a bunch of crap that I probably don't want, and then there's stuff that I want. Okay. Um. Hmm. Is there more to it? No, I don't care about that. All right. So let's see. No, 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 no. Um, what is a Firebase support cadre? Let me go look. FF Firebase support cadre. Okay. Tank hunters and monster hunter special rules on a bunch of broadsides. Okay. Um. Yeah. Now, what was this again? The killing below. Reroll failed to wound and armor penetration rolls against that unit for the next 2 turns. So you still have to hit them. Um. Okay. So let's see. Um. Twin-linked high-yield missile pod or twin-linked heavy rail rifle. All right. Now, what does the coordinated firestorm do? All right. So you could do that, and that sounds fun. Except I think that something else would be better. uh, well, it has 2 broadsides, right? And then it has a riptide. So, and I'm not sure that the riptides really need the broadsides. So, anyway, but that's something to think about. You know what you want to do. Um, yeah. So I'm a battlesuit guy. I really liked piranhas back in the day. Because they really help the Tau out tactically. You just move them up and say, "Don't move here," and can't tell you how many people that pissed off. How dare you sacrifice those so I can't move towards you? And how dare you dismount me with your massive firing? Well, fine, I'll shoot these 2 guys at 24 inches with my bolters. Ah, my units are dead. Ah, goddamn, I lost. It was it was always amusing. So, all right, so it looks like this is just another wet dream formation. So let's look at retaliation and hunter cadres. So let me move that back down. There we go. So, let's see. So the hunter cadre is the traditional list, and the retaliation cadre. Um, okay, let's scroll down. I just want to minimize the points I have to spend. Okay. Um, oh, okay. Um, yeah, so there's crisis battle suits. One of the weird things is like I really don't have to take anything. I just be like, look, I got a guy who doesn't have to do anything. I don't have to take any weapons. You don't have to, I guess. It's like, all right. Um, yeah. Hmm. Now I need to find. Where's the actual rules? Um. Enclaves, detachment formation. Crisis battlesuits are troops' choice instead of elites' choices. Okay. Um. All right. So I can have a core for that, and then I don't have to take anything else. Um, the 0 to 1 per core, I don't need to take that. I just have to take an auxiliary. Hmm. I see the benefit to, um, well, most everything. I don't think you can take the Riptide wing in this. So it doesn't look like you can. No, this is the data sheet, the data slate, whatever. Um, so the support is, let's see, what's the Allied Advanced Cadre are? Oh my God, why is that 300 points? Oh my God, it's the most worthless shit. All right. Um, so it's the drone net, the Piranha Firestorm wing. Um, hmm. So do you get more benefit from having two of these? Um, hmm. So he comes with weapons. He really doesn't. Um, Trying to think what I want to do. Um, hmm. Well, there's a difference, like, um, you get two weapons, right? But how many points do you want to spend? It's kind of like, well, you can do two burst cannons, you know, um, and basically go your crisis battle suits are anti-infantry, or you can give them the second ion blaster. Um, it costs the same. It's just short range. So basically, short range, you get an extra shot with a missile pod. Um, Costs the same, and of course, you only have two shots, so that's four shots each, but that's at long range. Um, so I'll just say missile pods and missile pods. And for you, missile pods. All right, not doing anything with that guy. Um, all right, three of those. Okay. Um, hmm. So you can't take other things. Oh. Hmm. Do you want the Firebase support cadre? No. It feels like, so I'm aiming for 1750. Um, the the because that's what people are telling me that they play, right? Um, so that gives me those three troops, three broadsides, six riptides. Um, the commander, and the reason to take this one, okay, is so you can do the coordinated firestorm, right? Hmm. I wonder if you can add your commander from the other side. Yeah, I don't know. No. Um. No, let's see. So the low altitude deployment. If all the units from this formation start in reserve, you can announce before the battle begins they will use low altitude deployment. If you do so, deploy the entire formation using the deep strike special rule at the start of your second turn. Um, was it the ghost keels? It cost too much point, but was it? No. Um, sorry, I gotta look because the book isn't big enough. I gotta find the. No, crisis battlesuits riptides from this formation. Um, deep strike don't scatter, but that's it. Oh. Hmm. But can you actually get? Maybe you can actually have that. So. No, you can. You could have that, but that would only benefit itself, right? What I'm worried about is where you would deep strike, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna all deep strike. Um, you would think that you would want to have something on the board to make it so that, like, oh, hey, um, nope, he's still pretty shit. To make it so that you actually arrive, right? Well, you don't want to deep strike onto the enemy. That's the main thing. I think it's the relay, but isn't that just from reserve? Like, that just changes that. I don't think there's anything else. No. Nope. I don't think any of them does it. Yeah, I don't think anything does. Nah. As far as I can tell, nothing lets you like deep strike accurately. So, I'm gonna see what the list is again. Oh, because I don't know what you could actually afford. That's the other thing is what can I actually afford and what the points that are left. Um, like I don't even think you can't realistically afford the drones because it's too much. And I don't think you need them. Or sorry, the piranhas. That's what I was talking about. Was thinking of. So there's a Counter Strike cadre which is cheap. Um, maybe the range support cadre, but I doubt it. And the drone net. So let's do the range support cadre. Nope, costs too much because you bring 3 of those. Okay, so no. So then we would do the drone net and go. There's gun drones, gun drones, gun drones. Or actually, since they all cost the same, marker drone, marker drone, marker drone, marker drone. Oh, it's not going to fit. So, oh, yeah. You want him to have two. So, um, yeah. Hmm. So I'm trying to think. Um, yeah. So that gets you 4 units of marker drones, and I figure that's 1750. Um, so 4 crisis suits, um, 3 broadsides, 6 riptides. Now you can do it different ways, but the riptides are point for point, um, just better than everything else. Um, when really they should just be different. You know, if you look in your toolkit and you have a set of socket wrenches, is an 8 millimeter or 3/4 inch bit really that much different, right? Like is the socket head much different than each other? Well, they're different sizes, um, but you really need them both. Okay, but in 40K, you're basically buying everything else so you can buy those 6 models. Okay. Um, and the only reason I take this is because it works well with, let me switch this up. Okay. So the killing blow, so you can record the identity of one enemy unit. At the start of your turn, reveal which one unit it was that you picked. You can reroll failed 2 wound and armor pen rolls against that unit for the rest of your turn. Yeah. So it doesn't work on turn 1 if you go first. But if you're deploying from reserve, um, it just might, you know. Um, airdrop those guys in and call it a day, though. If you're going to go first, I don't know. I doubt that I would do it. So, anyway, yeah. So you can re-roll your failed 2 wound and armor pen rolls against that unit. And then with the coordinated firestorm, all units in the firebase support cadre participate in a coordinated firestorm. So if there's something really nasty that you need to get rid of, you have the marker drones, uh, and that's what you use. So you have tank hunters and monster hunters, and then you reroll failed 2 wound and armor pen rolls. So you just need to be able to hit, and the marker drones give you the ability to hit, you know, units that are invisible because you just expend marker lights. All right, it seems like that's the thing you're supposed to do with that list. So, um, and basically it's big guys, right? And it minimizes your army size. Um, So I'm sure most Tau players could totally, run this kind of army, right, without any problem. Except for the, $200 you got to lay out for the rule books for Tau, and then the 6 of these Riptides that you got to buy. So you have 6 of them. Yeah. Now let's see. As far as I can tell, they're $85 each. So a bit over 500 bucks. Let's see. Yeah, 510. So I don't know if this would be the best list that you could make with Tau. It certainly looks boring. But hey, whatever. You know, the if that's what they want you to do, okay, you can have the traditional list the other way. So let me save this list. So Farsight Riptides, because that's pretty much what it is. Yep, sure. And then let's do new. No, it's not perfect, of course. I need to add stuff to it, but let's go over to the formations and let's turn PDF off. All right, so this one we'll use the hunter one. Not the hunter one. Sorry. Yeah, no, the hunter one. That was right. All right, so let's see. I want storm surges because they're better, and then riptides, and then sure 3-strike teams because why not? Wow, it's like the whole army. So bring a drone unit and give me the commander. Give them 2 missile pods and a warlord trait. Okay, and then the drones. We marker drones. Sure. Okay. So that gives you 2 storm surges and 3 riptides. Yeah. So arguably better, I guess. Probably better if you do that. So your regular units are shitty. It's like yeah, it's annoying. So obviously you have even less of the stuff, right? You only have the 1 marker drone unit, but you have 3 of these and 2 of those. And all I can say is it looks really boring. There's they've tried to make it so like you can survive and roll your dice. But I don't want to roll that many dice. And when I say I want it simplified, I don't mean simple. What I mean is I don't want to roll that many dice. Okay. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think it's Arkham Horror. It's like Yeah, and people really love it, and I don't. They go, oh, it's really good, and I just go, it's really, yeah, it's really not so much. At least not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, maybe it is. Um, let's see. There you go, Elder Sign, right? Um, yeah. So that particular game, um, you you have like 6 dice, and then there's a yellow dice and a red dice, right? And there's investigative tokens on the dice, and there's skulls and the octopus thing, like whatever. So there's not a lot of dice that you have to roll, and in theory, right, you could roll for your entire player turn in a board game that takes maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay. Um, you you would at most have to roll um, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So that would be the most dice really realistically that you would roll. Um, Now you could have rerolls in a particular turn, right? So that's 36 dice, and let's say you have a reroll on 7 of them. Okay. Yeah, well, let's say 4. Let's say 8. You just say, I'm rerolling all these dice. You're not going to use them. Okay, because you somehow didn't get any results that you needed on. Normally you only have 6 dice. You need special rules, special items to get you those extra dice. That's 44 dice. That's your entire turn. You do nothing else. You just say, I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to match the icons on the dice to the monster and the world that I'm at, and that's it. That once you've completed that task, you figure out your rewards. You fail the task, you figure out your penalties. You you pay your sanity or your stamina, your life, or you get items. The guy who's generally in charge of basically the bank pulls the world off, puts a new one down if appropriate. Usually it is, and then applies any end of turn, moves the clock forward, midnight results, and that's it, man. Like he has as much work as you do, and just keeps the game flowing, right? This shit, when you look at it, you go, well, why do I have to roll 12 dice and then on my first turn shoot twice? Why is that a thing? Uh, I honestly don't get it. So, um, and the Riptide Wing, um, which is this, and has the Riptide Hellfire, is just like, oh, I didn't move. Okay, I can shoot you twice, and I have a whole bunch of them. Um, that's boring, So this one would be Firesight Hunter, right? There you go. Uh, so we'll just use this supplement, and we'll just go here, and we'll go Riptide Wing, right? Just so I can show you that, like, oh hey, how many of these stupid fuckers can I get? A lot. I don't know what to say. That having an army like that is okay. Someone said, sure, why not? Let's do it. And it's like, really? Okay, it's illegal. But I'm sure there's some way that you can play 9 Riptides, probably 2,000 points, who'd want to play against that shit? You're just like, I spent my money. Like, it's a completely new army, right? So you go, I spent my money. I spent my $765, um, which is over 810 with the tax in my state. Okay, so so you spend $800, you get an I win button because I do not want to play against that, and I don't want to play it. This is so boring. Just like, all right, I'm gonna fire everything at you. Okay, I guess. Let me know when you're done shooting, so I can have the interactiveness of rolling dice. How many dice you gonna roll? Well, let's see. Every time you hit me, you're gonna roll 100 dice, and by the time you're done, I'm gonna roll 50 dice and then take off 3 units. That's not really fun. Is it? Do people think that's fun? Like, is that like, oh, that's exciting? Sure, you're not going to be able to take objectives, but let's look at the thing you can do. Because this is the thing that they want to do. That are like, here. Um, you you use this instead, right? So let's look at that. So I rolled targets of opportunity, and with my super shooting army, I say I'm going to blow up these 3 units. Hey, look, I got a victory point for each of them, right? Uh, um, if you don't have something in reserves, this is just a bad game design. This object right here. Um, Decisive blow. Score 1 victory point at the end of the turn if you control at least twice as many objective markers as your enemy, or at least 2 objective markers if the enemy does not control any. Oh, somebody was thinking. So yeah. Why? Why is this allowed? Like, I realize that they want to sell shit, right? Have you ever seen, say, The Real Hustle, okay, or gone to any inner city area and saw somebody playing 3 card Monte? Sorry, in the rich white areas in the suburbs, generally you won't find anybody doing 3 card Monte because they just call the police. Okay. Um, Hold on a second. The cat is blinding me. She's like, I'm gonna go back there and it's like, oh, you get in there, you dumbass cat. Yeah, she pulls the shades open and is so like terrified the shade's gonna stab her. Anyway, sorry. So you can like I can do sleight of hand fairly well. If you're paying attention, you know I'm gonna do it. You will probably catch me. But there are people who cheat in Magic, and I don't see why they wouldn't use this to cheat. Okay. What if somebody says, I want to look at your card deck, and they turn it over, and it's all targets of opportunity? No matter what happens, it's target of opportunity. It's like, really? Um, or concentration of fire, which is D3 plus 3 victory points if the first 3 enemy units are completely destroyed. So you will get 426, right? That's been maxing at its best, right? So you can go from now. This is part of why I don't take competitive 40k seriously, because it's as stupid as the shit that they've done in Flames of War, that they're going to continue to do. The same shit that they do in or did in fantasy. Flames of War has it as the way that the tournament system is set up in Flames of War and in War Machine are very similar in that they apparently don't know how to run a competitive environment, so they just made up bullshit rules. When you have things that your army can't do, like this rapid strike, what if I don't have anything in reserve by the time this shows up? I get no victory points. Oh, hey, look, this is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to kill you with concentration of fire, you know. Um, okay. And they're all like this. There's all things that you can and can't do. Um, I don't have this army, right? I don't have ghost kill units, so probably I'm not going to be charging. But score 1 victory point at the end of your turn. If 2 or more units charge a single enemy unit, score D3 victory points instead of the enemy unit is completely destroyed by the end of your assault phase. Like, okay, I assault everything and I blow it up. Okay. So what if I don't have that? Well, then odds are I'm not going to worry about it, right? I'm not going to do it. So I get no victory points again. Avoid the killing strike. Score 1 victory point at the end of your second or subsequent turn if no units in your army were completely destroyed in your turn or the preceding enemy turn. Oh, look, the army that I chose has no weak units to destroy, like the Riptide Wing, or the one that it lets you run 6 Riptides, and some battle suits. Well, you kill one of the battle suits. All right, these 4 units are going to fire their 18 missile launchers at the battle suit. Oh, whew. Okay, it made no tactical sense, but I win the game because I'm a victory point ahead of you, and you can't tie me now because it was completely destroyed. Because that's the way that the army list works. Just anyway. Yeah, whatever. It's a cute picture. So anyhow, so I'm not too impressed with the offering on hand from Games Workshop. Um, it really is like your game designers are bad, or worse, bean counters are in charge. Oh, well, we know both of those are actually true. What's left of your game design, core is gone. Um, Nottingham people seem to think that they know better than the rest of the world. Well, I know better than all of you combined, and your game is shit. Why would I want to play this? How is this fun? Um, Roll dice, derp. That's sorry, guys. No, it doesn't entice me to buy things. It entices me to avoid your game because when I actually look at one of my favorite armies, because my buddy Jimmy painted it, and I really like how it looks. Um, both your models, look cool, but it's a shooting army in a shooting game, and now you've made it shooty to the nth degree. Okay, so it's 32 times more shooty than ever before. Buy now. I don't want to buy now. I don't want to. So um yeah, so there's things that they could do to fix these things, but I don't think they're going to do it. Um I don't think that the new Flames of War edition is going to fix anything. I've seen the rules and I'm so far nonplussed. Not impressed. I'm just nonplussed. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I I don't think you can make your rule system work the way that you think you can um, in early war, mid war, and late war. Okay. Um, the difference between a late war tank and an early war tank is massive. The anti-tank capabilities are are wildly different. Um, you get a unit of Char 1BS. I think it's an S. Anyway, Char 1Bs. You, because I don't think it's actually an S. You take those, and nobody is going to stop you. Like if it's not German 88s, there's nothing that's going to stop you because the other anti-tank weapons don't exist and they can't do anything. Um, early war has these really hard counters that if you run into them, it's like, well, I can't do anything because they literally couldn't do anything. It wasn't something that people are like, well, yeah, somebody's going to have a foot of steel plate on the front of their fucking truck and it's going to be angled and I won't be able to pin it with anything. It's like, holy shit, that's an invulnerable truck. It's like the reverse of an orc truck, but, you know, designed properly and actually have armor. Um, you realize that like a modern NRAP can defeat a lot of World War II projectiles. It's crazy. You know, they're heavily armored, and they're not heavily armored, right, by any standard. There's actually I can't remember what the name of it is, like AMD apps or something. It's some weird name. It's an active defense system out of Germany, and as long as you have a moderate amount or light amount of armor, they can basically defeat any projectile. You fire at it and it just defeats them. Like it figures it out. It goes, yep, you're coming, and this is why people want to use railguns and lasers in the future because you're rapidly coming up where like a tank wouldn't be able to destroy a Bradley with this deployed on it because the tank shell would be destroyed. Either generally it burns them up. Okay, so it burns the tank shell in midair, um, and nothing's remaining. I can't remember the term for it, but that's something that you don't see in 40K at all. Is like, well, how defensive are you? Well, there's your two wound, two hit, two armor. Your armor save, pen armor, any cover save you may have. Like that's not like it's diminishing returns after every set of dice rolls, except when you still only have 10 guys and you just rolled 36 dice on it and they don't get any saves, and and you hit on twos and you wound on twos and they don't get saves. um, you're removing the diminishing returns. Okay, so instead of it being properly stepped down, I fire 12 shots, I get 8 hits, I get 4 wound rolls, you lose 1 or 2 guys. It's I have 12 shots, 11 hit, 10 wound, you lose your squad. Everybody's dead, right? That's bad. That's not where you want to be. And that's where the game is right now. And I don't believe that 40K is going to be able to do something different because the game designer talent pool and the leadership at Games Workshop, you know, Kirby is an idiot. Okay, sorry, Tom, you're a dumbass. You always have been. You led the company basically to ruin, and they finally got rid of you. Said, all right, we can't have him being in charge of the company anymore because we're gonna lose. We're not gonna be able to grow the company. When you're between 120 and 135 million in revenue over the course of your tenure, um, you failed as a CEO. Okay, and I like the Tau. I like the 40K fluff. I like playing a game that challenges me to find good uses of interplay. All right, Dirt by Big is not something that will make me spend my money. Okay, I won't do it. Um, and that's what we have with this game. With everything that Games Workshop delivers in the Tau, it's all about the riptides and the storm surges, and not about anything else. Um, okay, I'm hopeful that for mid-war, Flames of War will have a decent system, a better system than what they currently have, because they're getting cards that you can just say this is what it is. You know, this unit has one more firepower than this one against infantry because of this special rule, and it's just built into the card. Okay, that's fine. Um, there's there's nothing wrong with that approach, right? It's the rest of the rules and how they work together that's going to matter. Um, Games Workshop, I can't buy product that I don't believe is going to provide me with a fun and competitive environment to use that product in. Um, that's where you are. That's where your game is right now. And it's been there for quite a while. I told everyone that adding Apocalypse to 40K was bad, um, because they didn't balance it in any meaningful way. Um, and as a result, it's not balanced. It's balanced towards sales. Well, guess what? I'm not here just to transfer my wealth to your company. Okay. And there's a lot of other people that aren't either. And as the whales continue to not buy your product, your sales will continue to tank. You you can't really cut costs anymore. Um, you're unable to get in new customers. You don't market. You don't have a marketing budget. Okay, might consider changing that. Your rules are bad because the majority of your ranges sit on the shelf unbought by the people who know, and the people who don't know feel scammed and say, I already spent $300. I don't want to spend another $500 to $800 just so that I can have an army to win with. And there's other armies that just slice these armies up, and that's entirely on you, Games Workshop. Now you can say you're a model company, and not a rules company. And I hope that your completely shit sales of Age of Sigmar are an indication to you that you are actually a rules company first, and you happen to make pretty models for those rules. And until you actually, post that, admit it in your, reporting to the investors, which I am not one of. I sold my stock in your company 6 years ago, when you decided you were going to put Apocalypse, the morons at Forge World, those three stupid twats, you're going to put them in charge of your game, and let them, show you the way to the future. And all you need is big models, and people will buy them, and just make sure they can wipe out everything that people currently own. Um, doing so has resulted in shit like this, where it's totally random whether I will actually get an objective that will help me win. Um, my army is a shooting army. Why wouldn't it always be shoot something and get a victory point? Kill it by shooting and you get a victory point. Okay, there's only one close combat option, right? So this one could be considered a combat option. Um, But I really don't know if there's a game where you could actually run a whole bunch of Ghost Keel units and run them into combat and actually destroy three enemy units every turn without having your opponent concede because, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of close combat monsters rampaging through my army and I can't shoot them, you know, and they can crack open my land raider because reasons. So if I'm actually running that and I got a bunch of guys in there, that's not going to matter. They can crack open any transport and then beat your face. That's not good, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, so I think there's hope in other projects like Ninth Age and M42. I don't know if other people are going to do anything. Hell, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I I really don't. But this game is unplayable, and it's not about the money. It's about I don't want those models. You're a model company. Sell me a reason to play the other models. It doesn't matter if I own them or not, because I have lots of miniatures. Okay. What matters is I want a reason to play, and I need a reason to play with models that I have. And I don't mind investing money into war games, but completely buying a whole bunch of big stupid things is really not my idea of fun. I don't want a GoBot army. Okay? Like I don't want 9 12-inch models sitting in front of me and looking at and being able to look at the other guy with a straight face and go, "Well, are you ready for your ass whooping, son?" Because that's pretty much what I'm doing. In any case, um, that's going to be it for me for today, um, at least on 40K topics. So visit the blog, yesthetruthhurts.com, and leave a comment, and I'll be glad to insult you. I'm like the comic. I'm like, the comic dog that insults you. So I don't mind. Um, I do read your emails. So just usually because of their tone or tenor, they're not really worth putting on the blog because I don't care. If you're ranting at me about me being an asshole or something, and, or I'm wrong or whatever, I don't really care. Um, there's there's people out there that are just still full of hate, and I don't really care because I haven't actually met them. They don't come up to me at tournaments and introduce themselves because um, I guess they're afraid that I will break their face. I don't know. I've been told I look like a convict in person, so I don't know, and I don't threaten physical violence on people. I'm like, no, I'm not going to punch you in the face. Like, if you punch me, sure, but why would you punch me? It's a game. And this is the thing I don't get is people are all mad, and I'm like, you realize that when all the competitive players leave, and that's not you think you're competitive, it's people who actually are competitive, and recognize that the game system is no longer competitive but is pay to win, and have left the game system. Um, because there's no longer a choice. Like all these things, these supplements provide another way to play, except it's the only way to play. Is well, you can run the big guys who get all the cool bonuses, or you cannot. Granted, I know that you could run like the marker drone thing, and you can have a bunch of piranhas. Um, like I get it, you know. I really do. Is that really what you want? Is that how you want to play? Like, is that the game that you want to play? Is well, there's these five formations are really good, and everything else is just crap. Is that the game that you want to play? And I personally don't want to. I don't want to run the the War Machine army based on just the best unit because everything else is obviously subpar, and this is the newest, latest plastic kit they want you to buy. Okay, they did that with Colossals. They did it with Cavalry. They've done that. Flames of War. They said we realize you want to play tanks. We know you want to play Flames of War Tanks Edition, but you can't win tournaments with it. It's not allowed. And when they came out with the ability to have anti-tank that's like strength 6 on every infantry unit in close combat, so all they have to do is just pass their tank terror and charge in, and then your tanks all die. Like, come on. Really? That is why I have a hard time playing that game. Every game has these major flaws, and those particular games need to change. I don't think War Machine changed enough. Um, I don't think Flames of War is changing enough. Um, and I don't think 40K when it comes out in 6 months, the 8th edition, I don't think that's going to change enough. Because they're not doing any kind of like you got to think about it. They're not doing any public testing of it, so people are not involved. The public is not involved. Since the public is not involved, that means when the game comes out, it's going to be what the little circle of men in Nottingham, England decided this is what is best. And well, they did that with 6th edition and 7th edition, and they were bad. They came out with Fantasy 8th edition and Age of Sigmar, all bad. Okay. Um, so when they do that and all these things get released and the things are bad, this is the future of miniature gaming is bleak and is held in the hands of idiots. And what are you supposed to say about that? What can you do to make it better? Well, I can only educate and say, this is stupid, this is why, here's how you fix it. That's all I can do. I can't do anything else. So I'll try and do that. And I'm not going to go through and actually rewrite Games Workshop's rules. I would just write an entirely new rule set. I just don't know if I have the interest in doing so. I just don't really care to. Just like, I I have other things that I do with my time, and I just don't play miniature games anymore of any kind because there's not none that are competitive. So it's just like, why would I play? I'm a competitive player, and if I can't have a competitive game, at least I want to have a fun game. And you know what? Sitting there watching somebody else roll 120 dice and then me shoveling my army into the bin, that's not fun either. And neither is doing it, okay, to somebody else. That's also not fun. So, in any case, I think that's going to be it for me today. I think I'm going to be done ranting. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. And again, check out the blog, yesthetruthhurts.com, and I'll see you later.